What if I told you one of the most successful businesses in America started with a man who'd rather be in the woods than in an office? What began as a simple duck call and built in a small Louisiana workshop grew into a hunting empire, a hit television show, and one of the most recognizable family brands in the country. So, how did Duck Commander become a household name? Stay tuned on this episode of Echoes of Freedom to find out. You hear that? That's the Echoes of Freedom. What's up, historians? Today we're standing here in West Monroe, Louisiana at the famous Duck Commander Warehouse, which is one of the most, or home to one of the most recognizable names in hunting and outdoor culture. For millions of Americans, Duck Commander became famous through television. But long before the cameras ever arrived to the scene, this was a story about innovation, faith, family, and the great outdoors. The story begins with Phil Robertson, who, before he was a television personality, was an avid hunter who believed he could build a better duck call than the ones available at the time. So in the early 70s, he designed a call that more accurately mimicked the sound of a real duck. After years of testing and refining his design, Phil patented the patented the Duck Commander call in 1973. What began as a small operation quickly developed into a loyal following among hunters. And Duck Commander wasn't built in a corporate boardroom. It was built through hard work, word of mouth, and a passion for the outdoors. As the company grew, Phil's sons became more involved in the business. Together, the Robertson family expanded Duck Commander from a single product to a major outdoor brand. Their success came from the understanding of hunters because they were hunters themselves. And this led the company to sell more than just duck calls. It sold a lifestyle centered around faith, family, conservation, and the great outdoors. And that's going to bring us to the TV show that's going to make this place popular. And there's a prop right over here that we're going to go check out and talk about as we continue on with our story here today. So, see you over there in just a second. All right, so behind me here is going to be the camper that was used in the filming of their movie, The Blind. And it talks about, or this is kind of where Phil stayed when he went off in the woods by himself for a while. There's another movie prop from The Blind over here behind me that we will move around to. But as we're talking about with the television show, it comes around in 2012. It's known as Duck Dynasty, premiering on the channel A&E. What started out as a show about a duck call business quickly became one of the most popular reality television series in America. Viewers were drawn to the Robertson family's humor, their strong faith, their family values, and a larger-than-life personality. At its peak, Duck Dynasty attracted millions of viewers and became a cultural phenomenon. I'm going to take you around now to show you this other movie prop from The Blind. Behind me is Phil's truck, and it's when he was out on his own with all the drinking problems that he had. He eventually gets drunk, is under the influence one night and wrecks his truck. And we'll walk around to the front here so I can show you what it looks like. Let me just flip that off there. And we'll make our way around to the front as I'm talking. But it talks about representing how even at his lowest point, or even at somebody's lowest point, there's always a path to recovery and success. And I'll read you exactly what it says here on the plaque as we continue to talk about it. But here's the truck itself from the front. And on the plaque it reads, "This wrecked truck seen in The Blind marks one of the lowest moments in Phil Robertson's life. After a night of heavy drinking and turmoil, Phil crashed this truck while driving under the influence at an event that powerfully symbolizes the reckless path he was on and the danger it brought to himself and others. The damage to the vehicle mirrors the damage in Phil's own life at the time. Broken relationships, lost direction, and a deep inner struggle. This scene serves as a powerful symbol of Phil hitting rock bottom. It's displayed here as a sobering reminder. The truck still stands as a testimony to the destructive power of addiction and the hope that true transformation is possible. And that is leading into the faith aspect of the whole Robertson family and what makes this place such a huge success. So I'm going to move you and take you to one more space here on the property as we begin to wrap up here today. All right, so whether people watched the show for hunting, humor, or the family dynamic, Duck Commander became part of the American popular culture. The company helped introduce many people to waterfowl hunting, conservation efforts, and outdoor traditions, and it demonstrated how a small family business could grow into a nationally recognized brand without losing its roots. Today, as you can see here behind me, this beautiful mural painted on the wall, Duck Commander remains a symbol of entrepreneurship and outdoor heritage. The story isn't really about duck calls. It's about seeing a problem, creating a solution, and building something meaningful through persistence. From a homemade call in a Louisiana workshop to a business known across the country, it's a reminder that some of the biggest success stories start with simple ideas. All right, so standing here today, it's easy to see the success, the merchandise, the television fame, the millions of fans, but behind it all is a simple story. And we're standing here in the duck blind. It's easy to see it all, but we have to remember it all comes from a very simple story screaming echoes of freedom here in America. It's a hunter who wanted to build a better duck call, a family that worked together, and a business built around doing what they loved. So, all right, historians, Duck Commander reminds us sometimes the American dream isn't found in a skyscraper or a big city. Sometimes it's found right here in a duck blind, a workshop, or an idea worth pursuing. So before we go, if you would like to learn more about Echoes of Freedom, you can check us out at www.echoesoffreedom.us. There you can see more on the adventure, learn more about the history of Duck Commander and the Echoes of Freedom that screams from this building, see the interactive map and learn more about other adventures. You can donate by sending us some money to put fuel in our vehicles to travel or help with preservation efforts as we recover artifacts and restore the history that has been lost. Or if you'd like to tell us a place to go, there's a little form on the website as well. Drop your submission in. We'll be happy to check it out on the next episode of Echoes of Freedom. And speaking of the next episode, we hope you've enjoyed this one. I'm Smith McNeil, hanging out in the duck blind. We're going to shoot some ducks with Phil and Jace, and I will catch you all in the next episode of Echoes of Freedom.